is up? Hi, hello. My name is Janelle, otherwise known as the human behind Nutty Nelly. I never thought I would be making this video, let alone I am so sorry if you're watching this video and this has happened to you. This was something that was very stressful and I went through a lot of trial and error in trying to get my Instagram account back, so I thought it would be great to be able to make this video and hopefully this might be able to help you or save you time. But my account got disabled by Instagram and I had a creator account, which is kind of similar to a business account, but it's more catered towards creators. And I had like a food blogs and I just share stuff about health and wellness. But what I really want to talk about is just exactly what happened when I got my Instagram account disabled and walk you through everything that I tried to do to be able to get my account back, and then finally how I ended up getting my account back. To start from the very beginning, on October 5th, 2020, I was scrolling through my Instagram and all of a sudden I got a message that said there's been some fishy activity going on your account and you need to re-log in. So I figured, oh, okay, well, no big deal. But when I went to go and log into my account, I was getting an error. And the error message was very interesting because it didn't say your account's been disabled, it just kept saying error, like it was like as if Instagram had a glitch. So first thing that I did was I went online and I checked if Instagram was having any issues, if they were down at all, and there wasn't any issues, so I knew there was something really fishy going on. So what I decided to do was I decided to just use my two-factor authentication to be able to log back in, because I do have that on to prevent anyone from hacking my account. And I was able to receive the code. However, the screen froze and it wouldn't let me get to the next page to enter the code. And Instagram just kept saying, sorry, there is an error with your request. I was getting really frustrated at this point, so I decided to look online to see what the heck's going on, and it said, oh, maybe you can try doing forget your password. So I tried doing forget your password, and you have two options. You can do the two-factor, which didn't work for me, or you can send an email. But the really crazy part was that the email that was listed was not my email. And I got really worried and I was like, oh my gosh, has my account been hacked? And so I was thinking about it, but I never got any text messages for a code or anything like that, so I don't think my account got hacked. So I started to get really worried, so I went to my Facebook page to see if anything maybe I could figure out from there, because I did have a business account for Instagram, so I linked that to my business Facebook page. And when I went to Facebook, I freaked out because it said you do not have an account linked to this page. So then I went onto Instagram and I tried to search for my name and it said user does not exist. That's when I really started to freak out and I was like, what the heck is going on? So I went back to Instagram and I tried to fill out a report to report a problem, but every time that I tried to submit the form, I kept getting another error message, and I was getting really frustrated because there was an error and I couldn't even submit a request to fix the error. Finally, I went to the Instagram help page and I looked under disabled accounts, but everything that was said there was not happening to me. I never got any messages saying my account's been disabled, and it was just getting really frustrated. I even went and read through all of their community guidelines and I never broke any of the guidelines whatsoever. Finally, I was ready to just throw in the towel and give up until my brother suggested going onto YouTube and watching some videos of this happening to other people. So here are the steps that I took to get my Instagram account back. The first thing that I did was I filled out the Instagram disabled form, and there's like 4 different forms that I've been able to find, and I actually only filled out 2 of the 4, and I immediately got an email that night, like super late at night, from Instagram, which actually was from Facebook, but it was addressed from the Instagram team, and it asked me to send in a picture holding a piece of paper that had my name, my account name, and a code. And so I sent that in right away, and within 24 hours I still hadn't heard anything. So I actually replied to that email every single day with a new picture. Unfortunately, I saw on YouTube that a lot of people had tried doing this method, and some people, it took them 8 months to get their account back. So I wanted to at least look and search out for other ways that people have been able to get their account back, and one way was through the Facebook Service Center. So to kind of give a little bit more background on that, I do have a business page on Facebook, and I did have it linked to my Instagram account, which was a creator account, which is very similar to a business account. And a very long time ago, when I first set up my Facebook page, I had accidentally bought an ad, and that thing actually ran for like 3 to 4 months without me knowing. My credit card was getting charged. Eventually I figured out it was Facebook and it was from an ad, and I was able to end that ad. But because I had ran an ad, I had an ad account through Facebook. And because I had an ad account and I had run an ad before, I was able to access the Facebook Service Center for ads. And through there, they actually have like a chat service, and you actually talk to a Facebook representative over the chat service. And so I found that some people have found luck in getting their accounts reinstated from that. So I figured, why not, worth a shot. So if you don't have a Facebook business page or an ad account, you will have to get that to be able to use this service. You just have to make any sort of generic business page and then just purchase an ad. You can do one for $5. And then from there, you'll be able to access the service, which if you just go to your settings and you go to the help center, if you scroll all the way down, there's like more support, and then eventually you can click onto your account, and then from there you can click absolutely any problem. There's like content has been removed or an ad's not running. There's so many different things. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. Just click any of them to just start a chat with a representative. The very first chat that I had with the representative, I actually found out that my ad account had been disabled. And so I was wondering, oh, maybe my ad account got disabled, which caused my Instagram account to get disabled. And I ended up finding out that they actually got disabled at the same time. So I knew that there was a correlation between the two. And I was talking to the person and he said, for now, let me see and try and get your ad account reinstated. I'll have to like bump it up to my internal team and it'll take 24 to 48 hours to review. And then he also was able to confirm with me that yes, Instagram did disable my account, because that was something that I wasn't even sure about. But within 24 hours, I got an email saying, your ad account's been reinstated, and I was like, great, now what about my Instagram account? So I went back on there, I chatted with a new representative, and pretty much every representative after that kept saying, sorry, all we can do is tell you to fill out this form, which I had already filled out. And I read on YouTube that it's not good to keep filling the form out because you're spamming Instagram, and apparently they don't like that. And then I was also wondering, because some people that had filled it out multiple times have found that once they got their account back, it got disabled again. When I was watching the YouTube videos of people that had done this, they said, you just gotta keep trying and just hope for a representative that's willing to help you. So I talked to like 1 to 2 people every single day. Eventually I got one person that actually gave me a different link than the one that I had filled out. So I figured, why not? I'll just fill this one out. And so I filled it out. But this time I got an error message and it said, username is invalid. So I was like, huh, okay. I screenshotted, I sent it to the person. I was like, oh, looks like the link you sent me doesn't work. So what can you do for me? And she was like, oh, I think you filled it out wrong. Try putting your name in this way. So I did, and I got an error again. So I sent her back. I was like, sorry, that didn't work. So I'm really hopeful, like at this point, like, okay, maybe they'll bump me to their internal team and I'll get my Instagram reinstated. And so she ended up doing more digging, and she said, oh, there's an error on Instagram's part, so it'll take 24 to 48 hours and we will let you know when it's back up and running. And I was like, great, okay, well this wasn't very helpful. So I waited 24 hours, nothing changed. 48 hours, nothing changed. Meantime, I was still trying to chat to new representatives to see if anyone would help me. And eventually I talked to Josh. I told him the same thing. I said, I'm getting an error when I try to fill this form out. And he eventually was like, you know what, can I call you? And I was like, yes, you can absolutely call me. I was so excited. I was like finally gonna get to talk to a human being. And it was funny because his name was not actually Josh, and he gave me the bad news that your account's been deleted. And I was like, what? And he said, yeah, if your account had been disabled, I could still see it. And he said that if your account's been disabled for 5 to 10 years, I will still see it on my end, but your account's been deleted. And I was like, that's impossible. I mean, Instagram disabled my account and I had like my 2-factor thing on, so it's not like someone could have hacked it and deleted it. And I was just so confused. And he said, I'm so sorry, like all we can do at this point is make a new account, because he said even on Instagram side, a deleted account's a deleted account and they can't do anything about it. I was speechless. And then he kind of also went on to explain how accounts get disabled on Instagram to me. So he kind of mentioned that there are bots that go through Instagram and try to flag and disable accounts that may be violating their terms, their community guidelines, which is really frustrating because we're relying on a bot to be able to tell whether or not things are wrong. And a lot of times there's so many false positives, and unfortunately a lot of innocent people get their accounts disabled. At this point I was like, well, should I just throw in the towel? The only way I can get my deleted account back is through a hacker. And so I found somebody that a lot of people mentioned in YouTube. I was a little worried though, because I know like a lot of these could be scams, or I just didn't want like a hacker also to help me, because what if they like hack like the rest of my life? I don't know, I was really sketched out. So I figured, why not just message him? So I messaged him, I talked to him for a little bit just to see like how he was as a person, like if it was like a bot or if they just didn't have a personality or anything like that. And he seemed very normal and fine. So I figured at this point, worst case scenario, he can't get my account back, then I'll give up. But this is, at least I know I tried absolutely everything. So I asked him to get my account back. I told him that Instagram disabled it and now it's deleted, and he's told me that okay, like I need to get a certain software. In the meantime, we were just kind of chatting. So I went to bed, and the next morning I woke up, and then at about 10 a.m. I decided to just try going onto my Instagram, and it was there. Everything was there. It was completely restored, and I was shocked. So I went and messaged him, and I was like, hey, my Instagram's back, like thank you so much. What ended up happening? Like I was just very curious. And he said, you know, I felt really bad, so I reached out to a friend that works at Instagram, and he was able to help me get your account back. So I was like, okay, like I mean, I got my account back, so I was really happy. I was just kind of like, that's so crazy that it was so easy to get it back just like that. So that wraps up pretty much my entire story, with my account getting disabled, then getting deleted, then getting it back, and just all the different methods that I used. Overall, some of the takeaways that I've taken from this whole experience is, one, don't fill the form out multiple times, because like I mentioned, that I've seen some people that have done that and they got their account restored and then disabled, and I think it's because of the fact that they filled the form out more than once. It also spams Instagram, and they do not like that. The second thing is that the Facebook chat support doesn't work. I mean, I don't want to say never, because maybe there's an instance that someone can be able to help you, but when I did talk to Josh on the phone, he told me that someone from the Facebook service center can absolutely not help somebody with an Instagram account. And he said that anything that happens with Instagram needs to go through Instagram. And well, third is that Instagram has no customer service, so you are at the mercy of Instagram, which is very, very frustrating. I really hope that in the future that this changes. But through all this, I essentially learned some ways that you can actually prevent your account from getting disabled. I know if you're watching this and your account's been disabled that this doesn't necessarily help, but I am going to make another video just explaining some of my takeaways on how to prevent your account getting disabled. And like I said, I'm so sorry that you're in this situation right now. It was just hell when I went through it. I mean, it was only 2 weeks for me, but man, did those 2 weeks feel really long. So the only advice I can really have is to be persistent, and if your account does get deleted, your last option is really to just find a hacker. I'll leave the name of the person that helped me down below if you want to reach out to him. But again, I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and I just really hope this helps. So best of luck, and I really, really hope that you are able to get your account back soon.